What is up, YouTube? It's StudyRock12 here, and today I'm coming at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're going to be discussing side deck choices for the July meta. You know, the new ban list just came out in mid-July, and I am pretty unimpressed. The only thing that was really exciting for most people was Trish coming off the list, but let's talk about the list just for a second before I get into the video. Let's see, Trish went to 1, Jin was banned. Finally, that's long overdue. And then you had Shurit to 1, which was, I don't know, I wouldn't really call it a devastating blow, but it definitely does make it where Necros can't just drop whatever they want at any time. And we also had, what else happened on this list? Temple of the Kings went to 3, Exchange of the Spirit went to 3, Glow Up Bulb went to 3, which, I don't know. I don't really know why. No one's gonna really run it at 3. I can't really see any reason why you would. But anyway, that's pretty much the major changes that happened to the ban list. And oh, Dragon Ravine to 2. A lot of people are really excited about Dragon Ravine coming to 2. It should have went to 3 because honestly, it's not really hurting anything at the moment. You know, and I doubt Virginity's really gonna make that big of a comeback, honestly, because I don't know. They're kind of old, and they're really not fitted for today's metagame. But anyway, the top decks of this format are looking like they're going to be probably Necros, Shadal, BA, Klee, and let's see what else is up there. I think that's all that's really probably going to be. Yang Zing are kind of there. You know, they're really relevant now that Trish came back, but they're probably not going to be dominating the meta like the rest of the decks that I mentioned are. So today we're going to talk about the side deck choices that I made for this format so far. And I think my side deck is pretty well built, and I think that everything in my side deck has a purpose and has a deck that it goes in against. Now, the first card in my side deck, you know, if you're not maining this card, you have to side deck it, and that is Maxi. I run Maxi in my side deck at 2 because I'm not main decking it. If I was main decking it, I would main and side together to make 3. But Maxi is an awesome side deck choice against almost any deck. This is really good against Shadals, really good against BA. The only decks that are probably, this card is probably not very good against is Klee, because Klee just normal summon a bunch of stuff, and that's really not that good. I mean, you can still get the 1 draw from when they pendulum, but honestly, it's not going to do you that much good. But if you're not maining it, Maxi at least 2 is too strong in this format. And now my next side deck card is one that a lot of people don't run, but I love it in the side deck. I side this in every time I play against BA because it's just too powerful against BA. And that card is Flying Sea. I run Flying Sea at 2 on my side deck, and I side this in against Rogue and BA. This card is so strong against BA because, you know, you stop their Dante plays, and you stop any rank 3 plays, you stop any of their rank up shenanigans. It's just really good. It's a really solid card, and it's also really good against a bunch of rogue stuff, especially things like, you know, gadgets and anything that kind of spams 4s, which there's a lot of really good rank 4 spam around, and it's just a really good card against it. And next up on my list is Shared Ride. I run Shared Ride at 3 in my side deck because this card is just too strong against a lot of really good decks right now. Around here, there are still some Gearsha players, and this card is really, really strong against Gearsha players. This card is really strong against Necros. This card is really strong against Necros. But there really isn't very many decks at all that don't add things to the hand. This card is actually pretty solid against Klee too. It's just a really powerful card, and if activated at the right time, it can net you +3 easy. You just got to run this. I run it at 3 in my side deck. I would recommend running this at least 2 in the side. I wouldn't really recommend maining it because a lot of decks just don't add things to the hand, like, you know, things like Shadal's kinda. They can add things to hand with you know, their fusion monsters, but really it's not that good against them. But it's still a pretty solid side deck choice. And then my next side deck card is Mistake. I run this card at 2 in my side deck, not 3, surprisingly, because I would rather have the Shared Ride than the Mistake most of the time. There's only some times when I would rather have the Mistake than the Shared Ride. Because honestly, I feel like if I'm playing against a Necros player and I activate Shared Ride, he cannot get more pluses than me through his draws, or through his ads rather, that turn. and I feel like I should be able to outplay him with the pluses that I got off a shared ride, more so than outplay him with Mistake. Mistake is still really strong though. It's a really good card. I always side this in against Necros. I side this in against Fire Fist. Pretty much any deck that likes to add things from the deck to the hand, you just flip up Mistake and they pretty much suffer pretty hard. And I run that at 2 on my side. Some people are actually maining it. I don't feel like you really need to main it right now. Well, maybe if you're going to like a major event, like maybe a big regionals or something like that, maybe you would want to put it in the main deck at 2. But I wouldn't really recommend it in the main. My next card is Light Imprisoning Mirror. I run this card at 2 in my side deck because just around here, especially around like my locals and things like that, there are a lot of light decks that run around, and this card is just really good against things like I actually sometimes like to side this in against BA because this card just absolutely slaughters Dante. I would side this in against any kind of Light Sworn because I hate that deck with a passion, and this card is so good against that deck. I side this in against Light Sworn and things like that, Chaos, because Chaos Dragons are actually really relevant right now. I don't know if you guys I'm sure you guys pay attention to that, but Chaos Dragons are really good right now, and this card is just really good against them too. But I run that card at 2 on my side deck. And now, moving on to the next card in my side deck, which a lot of people probably don't run, I run Chain Disappearance in my side deck. I run this card at 2. I was running this card at 3 in my side deck because I thought I would see a lot more Burning Abyss matchups than I did, but I didn't, unfortunately, and it didn't really do me very much good against a whole lot of other decks. This is really good against Rogue decks and Burning Abyss. This card is so good against Burning Abyss. It just destroys anything that they try to pull off on you because, they say that they're trying to get their Scarm effect or something. You just look this up, banish all their Scarm from deck. It's just too powerful. It banishes from hand and deck. So this card is just strong, man. Tour Guide is at 1 now, or this would be a really good answer to Tour Guide too. You just flip this up, banish all their Tour Guides, and then they just, they have to play a little slower because they don't have the Tour Guide answers. The next card I run in my side deck, I run it strictly for Klee. I don't really side this in against anything else, and that is Dust Tornado. I actually run this card in my side deck. I love this card because if you're running Dust Tornado and you've actually played it and you know how to play it, you actually can really understand how powerful this card is. This card, you flip it. For those of you who probably don't know what this does, this is an older trap card. You flip this face up to destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. Then you can set 1 spell or trap card directly from your hand. That's really powerful, especially if you have something like a Call the Haunted in hand and a monster in grave. That's usually how I use it. I'll flip it on my opponent's turn, set like my Call the Haunted, Oasis the Dragon Souls, something like that, and then you can activate it on your turn because it technically did set for an end phase of a turn, counting as 1 turn. But those are my side deck choices. There are a lot of other side deck choices out there that a lot of people like to make. Honorable mentions being things like Darkness Imprisoning Mirror. Some people like to side Skill Drain, Vanities. Iron Imperial Wall is a really, really good side deck choice, but I main it. So, if I was going to play Iron Imperial Wall, I would definitely be maining it instead of side decking it because there really isn't a whole lot of decks right now that can not banish things and still be successful. Except, let's see, Klee. Iron Imperial Wall won't do any good against Klee. It won't do any good against Yang Zing. And, but other than that, like a lot of decks suffer from Iron Imperial Wall. That's why I'm not running it, is because the main meta decks, the only meta deck, in my opinion, that suffers greatly from Iron Imperial Wall is Necros. And I feel like my knowledge of the Necros deck makes me having a more than average matchup against it because it's not as powerful as it was. They lost their Shuret, their ability to search out their Trish with their Shurets, their ability to just drop a Trish with a Shuret, and they lost their ability to Genlock. That was a major blow to the deck, losing the ability to Genlock. But overall, the side deck choices that I showed in this video were pretty powerful. I hope you guys liked the video. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And this is the yugioh 12 signing off.